Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into the recently released Resident Evil 4 Remake demo, and I'm excited to share my thoughts on this highly anticipated game. For those unfamiliar with the game, Resident Evil 4 is a beloved classic that's been remade for modern consoles, and the demo has just dropped. So, without further ado, let's dive right into it. If the recently released Resident Evil 4 Chainsaw demo is an accurate representation of the upcoming remake's overall quality, then we are in for an incredibly enjoyable and thrilling experience. On its release date of March 24th, the demo requires a mere 30 minutes of your time and 10 GB of hard drive space, and it delivers an experience that surpasses expectations by cleverly subverting them and intensifying the tension to levels that were impossible to achieve in the original game's 2005 release. As someone who held impossibly high expectations for this remake, thanks to the exceptional Resident Evil 2 remake, I also harbored some reservations after the Resident Evil 3 remake's underwhelming reception. However, I am happy to report that the Resident Evil 4 remake's playable demo is truly a magnificent work. Undoubtedly, there is a plethora of exciting gameplay yet to come in the Resident Evil 4 remake. From prowling through the rain-drenched village at night to depleting ammunition reserves in a besieged cabin, engaging in frantic firefights in a maze-like castle, and countless other pulse-pounding moments that my aging mind can barely keep up with. While the initial assault in El Pueblo is often remembered fondly, it was the chaotic events that unfolded beyond the first hour that truly cemented RE4's status as an iconic game. The game's generosity and imaginative design have earned it a reputation as one of the most memorable action games ever created, and it is on Capcom's ability to recapture that spirit of adventure in the remake that they will ultimately be judged. Capcom has a long-standing tradition of utilizing playable demos to generate hype and anticipation, leading up to the release of new Resident Evil titles. However, these demos are often timed, providing players with only a brief glimpse into the game's world before ending abruptly, leaving us yearning for more. In a wise move, Capcom has opted to give players unrestricted access to explore the Resident Evil 4 Remake demo. Furthermore, they have included an exclusive difficulty setting, Mad Chainsaw Mode, which intensifies the gameplay experience by removing checkpoints and increasing the deranged behavior of Dr. Salvador to an almost unbearable degree. I dedicated a couple of hours to fully experiencing the Resident Evil 4 Remake demo, not because there are various routes to explore or secrets to uncover, as the game follows a predetermined path, but simply because I wanted to immerse myself in the game's world. Interestingly, I found myself doing the same thing back in 2005, when the original game was released. My friends and I would replay the section between the Hunter's Lodge and the village repeatedly, taking turns surviving the onslaught with different challenges, such as using only melee weapons, or relying on collected eggs for sustenance instead of weapons. This section of the game was exhilarating back then, and it has lost none of its appeal even after 18 years. Part of the reason Resident Evil 4's gameplay still holds up today is due to the remarkable effort Capcom has invested in updating the game's movement and combat mechanics. The camera now closely follows protagonist Leon S. Kennedy's shoulder, and the slow-turning circle when aiming down sights adds to the overall sense of claustrophobia. The enemy AI has also been significantly improved, with more aggressive behavior that is relentless in its pursuit of Leon until the village bell tolls, breaking their homicidal spell. The satisfaction of shooting axes out of the air as they hurl towards you is just as gratifying today as it was in 2005. Similarly, the act of shooting enemies' kneecaps and finishing them off with a sweeping roundhouse kick to clear some space is just as exhilarating now as it was in the original game. Initially, I found aiming down sights in the Resident Evil 4 Remake demo to be a bit clunky. However, as I spent more time playing the Chainsaw demo, I realized that this was likely due to the Silver Ghost starting handgun sluggishness. The gun's slow rate of fire made me feel helpless against the overwhelming odds, which only fueled my desire to progress into Chapter 2-1 and purchase the RED9 pistol from the merchant for 14,000 pesos. I'm curious to see if Capcom has altered the location of the mysterious vendor's shop and what items he has for sale in the full game. Even from this brief demo, it's clear that Capcom is making intelligent changes to Resident Evil 4 to keep returning players on their toes. When the village battle became too much for me, I instinctively sought refuge in the small watchtower, which used to reward players with shotgun ammo and a brief respite from the chaos. However, to my surprise, the tower's floor collapsed within seconds, leaving me face to face with 6 Ganados and a revving chainsaw. The little house located off from the main bonfire, which used to contain ammo and enough space to reload and heal up, was now packed with enemies and had a backroom window that allowed even more villagers to flood through and surround me. Attempting to get some easy shots on Dr. Salvador and the two Los Ganados flanking him at the north gate resulted in him bursting forth in an impressive cutscene, chainsaw held high, forcing me into a panicked parry with my quickly deteriorating combat knife. These subtle changes added a new level of unpredictability to the game and kept me on edge throughout the demo. All in all, I'm impressed with how many surprises Capcom has managed to cram into such a small section of the game. It's amazing what you can learn from a 20-minute demo of a 20-hour game. It's evident that Capcom has taken important lessons from Resident Evil 2, learned from its mistakes with Resident Evil 3, and embarked on remaking Resident Evil 4 with the best intentions in mind. The company is not only attempting to modernize the game for a new generation of players who may never have experienced it on the GameCube, but also to reinvent the package in a way that feels revolutionary once again. Whether the full game can live up to its potential remains to be seen, but fortunately, we won't have to wait too long to find out. Following the surprise release of the Resident Evil 4 Remake demo last night, I decided to dive right in and give it a go. I completed the demo once, achieving my average score of around 4,000 before calling it a night. However, to my surprise, I woke up to reports of a secret difficulty mode called Mad Chainsaw Mode that I had missed out on. Apparently, this mode is only offered to players after completing the demo and starting a new playthrough. The mode comes with a warning that it will only be available for that specific playthrough, and subsequent attempts will require triggering it again. It's also worth noting that this mode won't be included in the final game. Unfortunately, no one seems to know how to trigger the Mad Chainsaw mode, and it appears to be entirely random. Determined to experience it for myself, I started and quit the demo multiple times until I was finally offered the mode. I eagerly accepted the challenge and can't wait to see what other surprises Capcom has in store for us with the Resident Evil 4 remake. The Mad Chainsaw mode lives up to its name as enemies are significantly tougher and their placements have been altered. One major difference is the absence of checkpoints, meaning that if you die, the demo ends and you must restart from the main menu. Apparently, Dr. Salvador, the infamous Chainsaw Man, will also be on fire when you encounter him in the village, but I didn't get to witness that myself. While Mad Chainsaw mode won't be included in the final game, it's possible that the highest difficulty mode will offer a similar experience. I'm hoping for something comparable to Resident Evil 3 Remake's Inferno level of difficulty. Have you played the Chainsaw demo yet? And have you dared to try out Mad Chainsaw mode? I plan to practice my skills before the game's release in a few weeks. The Resident Evil 4 Remake demo has left me thoroughly impressed. Capcom has managed to take a classic game and make it feel fresh and exciting all over again. The demo offers a glimpse into what we can expect from the full game, and it's safe to say that fans of the series will not be disappointed. One of the most noticeable improvements in the demo is the updated movement and combat mechanics. The camera now follows Leon S. Kennedy more closely, adding to the overall sense of claustrophobia. The enemy AI has also been improved, with enemies more aggressive and relentless in their pursuit of Leon. The combat itself is challenging, with enemies requiring multiple shots to take down and ammo being scarce, forcing players to make every shot count. The demo also features subtle changes to the original game that add a new level of unpredictability to the gameplay. For example, the floor of the watchtower collapses, leaving players to face multiple enemies and a chainsaw-wielding Ganado. The little house off from the main bonfire is now packed with enemies and has a backroom window that allows even more villagers to flood through and surround you. These changes, along with others not mentioned, keep the gameplay feeling fresh and exciting. Mad Chainsaw mode, the demo's secret difficulty level, is an absolute nightmare. Enemies are significantly stronger, and their placements have been altered, making the gameplay even more challenging. The lack of checkpoints makes every encounter feel high stakes, and Dr. Salvador, the Chainsaw Man, is even more terrifying as he is now on fire. Visually, the demo looks fantastic. The updated graphics bring the game's world to life, and the attention to detail is impressive. The sound design is also excellent, with the eerie sounds of the village and the menacing growls of the enemies adding to the overall tension of the gameplay. One minor issue I had with the demo was the aiming down sights mechanic feeling a bit finicky at first. However, I soon realized that this was due to the starting handgun's slow rate of fire. This decision adds to the overall sense of helplessness in the face of overwhelming odds. Overall, the Resident Evil 4 Remake demo has left me excited for the full game's release. The updated mechanics, subtle changes, and Mad Chainsaw mode make this game feel like an entirely new experience. while still retaining the classic Resident Evil 4 gameplay that fans love. If the demo is anything to go by, Resident Evil 4 Remake is shaping up to be one of the best games in the series. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us for a discussion on the Resident Evil 4 Remake demo. I hope you enjoyed hearing my thoughts on the gameplay mechanics, updated graphics, and the overall gameplay experience. If you haven't already, be sure to check out the demo for yourself and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. See you in the next one.